Most of the train stations look ordinary by day, but after midnight they tell different stories. I collected three real encounters from empty platforms and learned one chilling truth. Empty stations aren't always empty.
I live in a small town where nothing exciting ever happens. I live with my parents, and that town is very slow and ordinary. Like in that town, everyone lives a simple life. They wake up, go to work, come back, and sleep like normal people do. And I never hear that something exciting or a scary incident happened to town, even one.
And every shop shuts by 8 p.m. That time roads are mostly quiet and there's a single train line that connects us to the next city. My parents both work late, so I've gotten used to being alone a lot. That night, I was coming back from my cousin's place in the city. It was already past 11 p.m. when I got off the bus and walked to the train station to catch the last ride to home. The train station was practically empty. A dim yellow light flickered over the ticket booth, which had long been closed for the night. I was the only person on the platform except for a janitor mopping the tiles floor inside the main building. He didn't look at me, just keep dragging the wet mop in tiles, like he done this 1,000 times. There are some old rusty metal benches also. I sat on the one of them and start scrolling through my phone, trying to ignore the eerie silence. No wind sound, no announcements, not even the usual hum of bugs around the lights. Just silence and the occasional buzz of the flickering bulb. That atmosphere is giving me a scary vibe, like something wrong is going to happen. I watch 10 minutes pass, then 20, still no train. At first, I figured it was delayed, it wasn't unusual. But when I checked the train tickets app, it showed that the last train has already passed the station and left. That didn't make sense. I had been sitting there the whole time. I never saw or heard a train. I stood up and I started sweating out of the fear, and surrounding started to feel scary. I was hoping maybe it was a glitch in app. That's when I noticed the janitor was gone. No sound, no leaving footsteps, no mop buckets, just gone. I didn't hear him leave. A low wind moved through the platform, cold enough to give me chills. My body's all hair stands up. I walk closer to the building, my legs shaking in fear. I peek inside. Empty chairs lined up in rows, payphone hanging loosely off the hook. The janitor's mop was propped against the wall, still wet. I tried calling my dad, but the signal dropped. Not just one bar, it was gone. My phone showed no service. Suddenly, I heard a soft tapping behind me. Not footsteps, just a slow tap. I turned around quickly. There was a man standing at the far end of the platform, forcing the tracks. He was not there before. He was wearing a dark coat and a hat that shadowed most of his face. He stood still for a few seconds, then turned his head slightly towards me. I wanted to say something like, "Excuse me, do you know if the train's coming?" But something about him stopped me. It wasn't fear exactly, more like my body knew something wasn't right before my mind could catch up. Then he began walking, not towards me, but along the edge of the platform, keeping his back to me. His shoes made soft sound tapping noise against the concrete as he walked. I realized he wasn't heading towards the exit. He was heading towards the tunnel. the one that train comes out, man disappears into the pitch black tunnel. I stared him as he walked straight into it. No flashlights, no hesitation, just gone. I waited a minute past, then five. Nothing came out of that tunnel, not even a wind sound. That was enough for me. I grabbed my bag and walked quickly towards the exit, trying not to run. When I reached the exit, I stopped dead in my tracks. There was another man standing by the road outside the stand. This one wasn't moving at all, just standing under the broken streetlight. Same coat, same hat. I blinked, trying to focus. He was staring directly at me. Not like he was curious, more like he was waiting. I took the another way around, through the side alley next to the station. My heart was pounding. I didn't look back. After 10 minutes of walking in silence, I reached the main road. Somehow, my phone started working again. I called my dad, picked me up in 20 minutes. I didn't tell him what happened. I just said the train never come. The next day I checked the station schedule online. It showed that the 11:35 train had passed through and stopped like normal. But the weirdest part, there was a photo from a security camera on the site. It showed that platform from the night. I was sitting on the bench and the man, he was standing right behind me. My name is George. I am 20-year-old. I live in a small town where not much happens. We don't even have a bus stop. But there are two trains that pass through each day. One in the morning at 9 a.m. and one in the evening at 6 p.m. Not many people use them except for old folks or people going to the nearby city. One Saturday evening, it started raining hard, very hard. I was at my cousin's house helping him fix his computer, and by the time I left, roads were almost flooded with water. I tried calling my mom to pick me up, but her phone went straight to the voicemail. I was stuck cold and soaking wet. Then I remembered the train that passed through the town each day. I ran to the small train station. It's really just a bench with an old metal roof over it. I knew the last train had already left and the next one wouldn't come until the next morning. But when I moved and looked at the electronic schedule board behind me, something strange happens. It glitched for a second, then showed train 13 arrival 8:45 p.m. platform number 2. That was weird and scary also because this train station doesn't have a platform 2. I looked around, everything was quiet. Then I noticed a rusted gate at the far left end of the station. I had never seen it open before, but now it was wide open. Behind it was a narrow path covered with weeds. Something inside told me not to go, but my curiosity got the better of me. I followed the narrow path. It went under a bridge and down a small hill. That's when I saw it. A hidden platform, old and forgotten. And then I heard it. A low train whistle through the rain. An old silver train rolled in, smooth and quiet, and stopped right in front of me. The doors opened, but there was no sound, no conductor, no lights. I stepped inside. It was warm and quiet. The walls were wooden and the lights were soft and yellow. It smells like old paper mixed with something sweet. maybe flowers. There was only one other person in the car, an old woman sipping tea and quietly humming to herself. I sat across from her. She didn't look at me. The train began to move. Outside the window, it was all darkness and rain. I tried to calm down and just ride it out, but something started to feel strange. The woman was humming a tune I hadn't heard in years. It was very old tune, the same lullaby my grandmother used to sing to me when I was little before she passed away. I looked up now. She was staring at me. You are going the wrong way, she said softly. What? I asked. She didn't answer. She just looked back and started sipping his tea like she hadn't said anything at all. I turned back to the window. That's when I realized the weather had changed. It wasn't raining anymore. It was snowing. Everything was covered in white outside, but it was August. I felt my chest tighten. I stood up and asked, where is this train going? Woman didn't reply. There was still no conductor, no announcements, just silence. I walked to the next car to ask someone where this train was going. The next car were almost empty. Just one man was there at the far end, wearing a suit and facing the wall. I called out, excuse me, but he didn't move. I slowly walked closer and stopped. He wasn't standing, he was hanging in the air, like he had taken his own life. His face was pale, and his eyes were closed. He looked like he'd hanging there for a long time. I was so scared my legs became limp and I fell. Into a sudden impulse, I turned and ran through the next door behind me. I did not stop out of fear and start screaming, Ghost, help me. Then train start shaking all of a sudden. Then came to a sudden stop. Door open. I fell into the floor. When I looked up, I was back at the station, the normal platform 1. It wasn't raining anymore. The sun was coming up. I was dry. It was like I had a very scary dream. In reality, nothing had happened. I walked home in a daze. My mom hugged me, crying. She said I had been missing for 2 days, but my phone still said it was Saturday night. I never found that old path again. The rusted gate at the end of the station is locked now. I check the train schedule every time I passed it, but I never seen train 13 again. Not yet. I am 25-year-old. My name is Krish. I was working in a small office in Belgium, but 13 minutes away from where I live. It's a quite rural area. Their shops close at 9 pm. When I go home, there are barely any traffic or people around. Most days I'm alone and honestly I don't mind it. On Friday night I stay at office finishing a report. It was close to 11 pm. When I left, the office was already empty by then. Lights off and just the hum of a vintage machine in the hallways. I locked up our office and walked out and made my way to the train station nearby. The station was small, just two platforms and old bench. Most nights it's completely empty. It was a foggy, the kind where you can only see a few feet ahead. I checked the screen. The train home to was scheduled for 11:18. It was 11:05, so I sat down to wait. As I waited on the bench, I noticed something strange. Across from me, on the other platform, was a small girl standing near the edge of the tracks. She looked like she was maybe a 13 or 14-year-old, wearing an old white dress and no jacket even though it was freezing out. At first, I thought maybe she was lost or waiting for someone, but I felt something was off about that girl. She wasn't moving, just staring down at the tracks. I wanted to call out, asking if she needs any kind of help, but just then a couple walked past me on the platform. I looked up at them, then back across the track to point her out. But the girl was gone. I stood up and leaned over the railway railing. I scanned the other platform, nothing, no one. It hadn't even 5 seconds. The couple didn't seem to notice anything either. They sat down on the bench and started chatting quietly, like everything was normal. I thought maybe the fog was playing tricks on me. Maybe she had just walked off quickly. But something about that girl, the way she stood and the way her dress barely moved in the wind, it stuck in my head. The train arrived right on time. I got on and took a seat by the window. It wasn't crowded, just a few late workers. Their heads was down and they had headphones in. As we pulled out of the station, I looked out one last time and I swear to God that same girl was standing in the middle of the tracks. Same white dress, same blank expression, just staring at the train as it passed. But no one on the train reacted, not even the conductor and the people near the front. No one seemed to see her. I felt my stomach twisted. I almost got up to say something, but I think, what would I even say? Hey, there's a girl standing on the tracks. Stop the train. They think I was messing around or seeing things. I stay quiet. About 10 minutes into the ride, the train suddenly slowed down. Not at the not at a station, just randomly in the middle of nowhere. And there was not even any kind of announcements. We come to a full stop next to a patch of trees and open field. The lights in the train flickered once, then again. It went dark for maybe 3 seconds, but when lights came back, I saw something that I didn't expecting. She was in the train. That girl I saw on platform was there, a few row ahead of me. No one else reacted. They just stared out on their windows or scrolled their phones. She turned slowly and looked right at me, not around me, not past me, at me. Her face wasn't angry or sad, just blank, empty, like a face without anything behind it. Then the light flickered again one last time, and she was gone. The train started moving like nothing had happened. I looked around, waiting for someone to say, but no one even looked confused. It's like nothing has happened. But I felt I was going crazy. I got off at my stop and walked home as fast as I could. I didn't look back. A few days passed. I decided to ask around. I went back to the station during the day and found the old man was working on the ticket counter. He's been there for years and knows everyone. I asked him carefully if anyone had ever reported a girl on the tracks. He looked at me for a long time before answering. Then he said, "You saw her too, didn't you?" I didn't know what to say. I just yes my head. No, he sighed and leaned closer. Back in 1998, a girl about that age fell into the tracks while playing around during the fog. Train couldn't stop in time. Every few years, someone sees her again, always around the same time of night, same fog, same spot. I asked him why no one talks about it. He just shook his head. Most people don't see her. Some do. The ones who do usually don't ride the train again. I drive home now, even if it's late, even if it's snowing.